Hello students, in our last class we have discussed about speed and velocity. In that class we have studied the different types of speed, that was uniform speed, non-uniform speed and average speed. Similarly, in case of velocity we have discussed about uniform velocity, non-uniform velocity and average velocity. Now the last type of speed and velocity that was remaining, so we are going to start with that type of speed and velocity, and it is known as instantaneous speed and velocity. Instantaneous speed and velocity. Okay, so we are going to start with this point, instantaneous speed and velocity. So first let us talk about the word instantaneous. What does this word indicate? Instantaneous. It means at a particular instant of time. Instantaneous means at a particular instant of time. It means there should not be any loss of time. Let us take an example. Suppose you are moving on your bike. Okay, you are moving on your bike or your car or your scooty, and your friend is sitting behind you on your bike. So suppose on the path when you are riding the bike, your friend asks you what is the speed. You all know that there is a speedometer in the bike, in the scooty, in the car. There is a speedometer. So what does that speedometer reads? You know, whenever you ride the bike, then there is a needle on the meter, or nowadays there are digital meters also. So they tells us about the particular speed at that particular instant of time. So suppose at an instant when you are riding the bike, your friend asked you what is the speed now. Okay, then you will see the meter and you will tell the speed, that suppose this time the speed is 60 meter per second or 60 kilometer per hour. But that will be the speed of that particular instant, because your speed can never be constant. Your speed may increase or decrease. So at that instant, when your friend asks you what is the speed at this time, what is the speed in the meter, so when you see in the meter, then at that particular instant of time when you are seeing the meter, that particular speed is known as instantaneous speed, because just after that instant, just after that second, or just after that millisecond, microsecond, your speed may change. Suppose someone comes in front of your bike, so you just apply the brake and the speed will suddenly change. Okay, it means your speed will change. So the speed at a particular instant of time, that speed is known as instantaneous speed, and that is also known as instantaneous velocity. Instantaneous speed and instantaneous velocities are always same. Why they are same, I am coming to that point. I will discuss it later. But you have to remember what is instantaneous speed and what is instantaneous velocity. So the velocity or the speed at a particular instant of time is known as instantaneous speed. Okay, and you should also remember that the speedometer of your bike, of your car, of your scooty, that always tells you about the instantaneous speed or the instantaneous velocity. They don't know, they don't tell us about the average speed or the uniform speed or the non-uniform speed. They tells us about instantaneous speed. Okay, so what is instantaneous speed and the velocity? The speed, note down the definition, the speed and velocity at a particular instant of time. The speed and velocity at a particular instant of time is known as instantaneous speed or velocity. So this is the definition of instantaneous speed and velocity. But why they both are equal, and how can you represent this instantaneous speed and velocity in mathematical form, that I am going to discuss now. So let us consider This is our XY coordinate system. Suppose it is the frame of reference. This is our origin. Let a particle was initially at this point A, and it moves from A to B. Suppose B point is here. It is point B. Okay, and the particle moves in this path. The particle followed a curved path in moving from A to B. Okay, so let us consider the coordinate of this point is x1, and let this point be x2. This was initial position and it is final position. Okay, so what is the distance between A and B? The distance means the complete path covered is known as distance. And what is displacement? Displacement is shortest path between initial and final position. So it is, let us consider it path number 1 and it is path number 2. So path number 1 is a distance and path number 2 is displacement. Okay, now suppose this is the time instant t1 and this is time instant t2. This is t1 and t2. Okay, so what is the time interval or time taken from A to B? What will be the time taken from A to B? Suppose the particle started the motion at t1. Let us consider this is the time 12:05. Okay, or let us consider it is as 12 p.m. and let us consider this time is 1 p.m. So how much time the particle taken from A to B? The time taken is 12 to 1, that is 1 hour. It means how will you calculate this time? We will subtract final time minus initial time. So what will be the time taken from A to B? It is represented by delta t. I already told you about the delta symbol. This delta represents difference. Whenever we talk about difference, then the symbol delta is used. So delta of time, that is time difference, it is equal to final time, that is t2, minus initial time. So it is our time interval from A to B. Okay, what is the displacement? Displacement is, we represent the displacement by delta x, and this delta x is equal to x2 minus x1. This term we have also discussed in our previous classes. Delta x is equal to x2 minus x1 and delta t is equal to t2 minus t1. So this is displacement and it is time interval. So what will be the velocity? First I am finding the simple velocity. So velocity is represented by delta x upon delta t. It is the velocity. Clear? Now we are coming to the point instantaneous velocity. What is instantaneous velocity or instantaneous speed? So I told you earlier, what do you mean by instantaneous? The velocity at a particular instant of time. That means there is no loss of time. At the instant your friend asks you, you just tell him the velocity at that instant. Okay, you will not tell him the velocity. Suppose he asks you what is the velocity and you are telling him after 10 minutes or after half an hour. That means that velocity will not be the same velocity as that your friend asked you. Okay, so you have to remember this thing. What is instantaneous velocity? The velocity at a particular instant of time. That means there should not be any loss of time. Okay, so whenever there is not any loss of time, that means this time difference should be 0. Are you able to understand? What is this? Particular instant means there should not be any loss of time or there should not be any change of time. So when this change of time is 0, it means delta t should be equal to 0. But is it possible that this time difference can be 0? For example, your friend asks you what is your velocity at this instant. So if you see at that instant and you tell at that instant only, but there will be some loss of time. It may be 0.01 second, 0.0001 second, or 0.00000001 second, but there will be certain loss of time, because we cannot stop the time. So there will be some loss of time. Okay, so we cannot take this delta t is equal to 0. This delta t can never be 0. There will always some difference of time. When your friend will ask you, and when you tell him, maybe you are very quick, but being very quick, there will be a certain loss of time, there will be certain delay of time, maybe millisecond, microsecond, nanosecond, maybe, but there will be some loss of time. So we cannot put delta t is equal to 0. So we use the symbol delta t. We use this symbol. This arrow is used, delta t, and this arrow 0. And what does this symbol indicates? It indicates delta t is tending to 0. Delta t is tending to 0. What do you mean by tending? Tending means it is not absolutely 0, but it is moving towards 0. It will not be absolute 0, but it will have the value which is very near to 0. It is the meaning of tending. So delta t is tending to 0. Okay, now coming to this point, when this delta t is tending to 0, it means if we look at in this figure, when this delta t, what is this delta t? Delta t is this difference of time. This is delta t. So when this delta t is tending to 0, it means t2 will be very near to t1. When delta t tending to 0 or delta t is absolutely moving towards 0, then this time interval t1 and t2 will be very close to each other. And how much close? It may be like this. t1 is equal to 12 p.m. I am taking an example, and t2 may be 12.00000001, like this. So 0.00000001 is very near to 0. Okay, so delta t tending to 0 means this t2 time will be very close to t1. Okay, so now we are going to the definition, the mathematical term. When delta t tending to 0, when delta t tending to 0, it means t2 is very close to t1. Okay, now if we take t2 very close to t1, now I am going to explain it in figure. So when this t2 will be very close to t1, suppose we consider it here. Let this is the time t2. t2 move to this point. Why t2 is moving to this point? Because delta t tending to 0 for instantaneous velocity or instantaneous speed. So when this t2 moves at this point, this is t2 now. So what will be the value of this displacement? Now it is our displacement x2. x2 also moves to this point. Now if we look at this figure, this short interval. Now for short path, you have already studied in your previous classes that if we take any arc, any short path like this, if we take very short arc or any curved path, very short, it is having some length also. If we take more smaller than this, like this is very short part. If we take a very small part of a circle, then it is a straight line. You all know about this. If we take a very small part of a circle, suppose this is a circle, and if we take very small part like this, Very small part. Then very small part of a curve is always a straight line. So if we take t2 very close to t1, then this x2 will be very close to this x2 will be very close to x1. Then this this point B will shift to point this. Now this AB, when we will find this, or I am drawing another diagram, or you may be able to understand in this diagram also. Now this curve AB, and if we join it by a straight line, both will look like the same straight line. This is some distance also. T2 and T1 are far away. What is the meaning of delta T tending to 0? It should be very close. So this T2 should lie at this point, but it is not possible to explain it on the diagram. So I am taking this much of distance. If we take T2 very close, much more closer, then this path AB, when delta T tending to 0, T2 is very close to T1, and A and B will be very close. The point A and B will be very close, and in that case, and then distance will be equal to displacement. This is the most important point which I want to explain. When this T2 will be very close to T1, then this x2 will be very close to x1. Then the path, if the path was curved, but for a small part of a curve, it is a straight line. So this part AB, this will be the distance also, and this will be the displacement also. So for very small time interval, that is delta T tending to 0, distance is always equal to displacement. That's why I was saying that instantaneous speed and instantaneous velocities are same, because we can put now displacement is equal to distance also, and we know that velocity is displacement upon time and speed is distance upon time, and in this case distance and displacement are equal. That means instantaneous velocity and instantaneous speed will be equal. Okay, so first you note it down up to here, then I am going to write it in terms of mathematical expression. So now mathematically, what is instantaneous velocity? Instantaneous velocity is equal to, the formula of velocity is displacement upon time, delta x upon delta t, but it is for the time delta t tending to 0, when delta t tending to 0, and mathematically it is expressed in this form. It is equal to limit delta t tending to 0 delta x upon delta t. It is a new term, LIM. It is known as limit. It is known as limit delta t tending to 0. This limit and continuity you will study in your class 11th, but you have to remember this thing. What is the meaning of this limit? It means the time interval is very small, or it is tending to 0. That is the notation of this delta t tending to 0. Limit delta t tending to 0 delta x upon delta t. In this form we write instantaneous velocity. Okay, and it is also equal to instantaneous speed, because for instantaneous speed and velocity, distance and displacement are same. So we can put displacement is equal to distance. Then it will be the same formula, limit delta t tending to 0 delta x upon delta t. It is also known as instantaneous speed. It means instantaneous velocity and instantaneous speed are equal. Clear? One more thing, it can also be written as this whole term, limit delta t tending to 0, delta x upon delta t, or limit delta t tending to 0, delta x upon delta t. It can be written as, so this term, limit delta t tending to 0, delta x upon delta t, is also written as dx upon dt. It is also known as written as dx upon dt. So the formula will be instantaneous velocity is equal to, can also be written as dx upon dt, and this term dx upon dt is known as, it is known as differentiation. It is a concept you will study in class 11th, but you have to remember all these things just now, and you will study in detail about this differentiation, this limit, all these things you will study in your class 11 mathematics. Okay, but you have to remember the formula of instantaneous velocity and instantaneous speed, and what is the actual definition, and why are these two terms, instantaneous speed and velocities, are equal, because of this distance equal to displacement. So you have to remember all these things. You will study in detail about these concepts, dx upon dt. What is the dx upon dt? It will be studied in class 11th. Okay, so dx upon dt means differentiation. It is known as differentiation. Okay, so it is the basic concept of instantaneous speed and instantaneous velocity. So if anybody asks you, what does the meter of your bike or the scooty tells you? So the speedometer, that meter is known as speedometer. Speedometer of bike or any vehicle gives instantaneous speed. Speedometer of bike or any vehicle gives us instantaneous speed or instantaneous velocity. Okay, so it was the concept of instantaneous speed and velocity. Note it down. You have to remember this formula. Instantaneous velocity is equal to instantaneous speed is equal to dx upon dt, where x is a displacement and t is time. It can be written in this form or in this form. You have to remember both the forms. So till now we have discussed the different types of speed and velocities. Now we have to differentiate between speed and velocity. The question is asked, what is the difference between speed and velocity? Okay, so we have already discussed these both the things, speed and velocity, in very detail. So I am going to differentiate between them. So first difference, what is the first difference? What was the definition of speed? It is distance per unit time. Distance per unit time is called speed. Distance per unit time is called speed. And what is velocity? It is displacement. Displacement per unit time is called velocity. So it is the first difference between speed and velocity. What was the second difference? Speed is a scalar quantity. It is scalar because it does not have any direction. Velocity is, it is vector quantity. It is vector quantity. Okay. What was the third difference? I told you about speed. Speed can never be negative. It is always positive. So it is always positive. Speed is always positive. But velocity, it can be positive or negative. It can be both positive or negative. Okay, so these are the three basic differences. What is the fourth difference between speed and velocity? What is the fourth difference? Speed is always greater than or equal to velocity. Like in case of distance and displacement, there also we studied that distance is always greater than or equal to displacement, but distance can never be less than displacement. In the same way, the speed is always greater than or equal to velocity, but speed can never be less than velocity. Okay, so speed is always greater than or equal to velocity, but velocity can never be greater than speed. So this is the fourth difference. Okay, so these are the four basic differences of speed and velocity. You have to remember these differences also. Now we come to the next topic, that is acceleration. Acceleration. This is the most common term which is generally used whenever we talk about the motion. For example, all of us when move on a bike or car, we used to say that we are taking the accelerator. A device is there which is known as accelerator. In bike or in scooty or in the cars, there is always an accelerator with the help of which we increase or decrease the speed of our car, our bikes, our scooties. So what does that accelerator mean? That is the device accelerator, and it provides us acceleration. So what does actually accelerator do? When you start your bike or your scooty and when you move your accelerator, then suddenly the speed of your bike or the car increases. And when you remove your accelerator, when you lose your accelerator, then the speed decreases. That means, what is the basic purpose of accelerator? The basic purpose of accelerator is either to increase the speed or to decrease the speed of your bike or your car. Okay, it means whenever we talk about the acceleration, it means there will be a certain change of speed or velocity. Okay, so the parameter which represents the change in speed or velocity of any particle, and we all have studied about the time, that time is always increasing, time can never be stopped. So the velocity change will take place with respect to time. When you take the accelerator, when you move your accelerator, then suppose when you start your bike, just in 1 second, speed increases to 20 km per hour. Then in next 1 second, the speed reaches to 60 km per hour. It means with respect to time, your speed is changing. Okay, so the parameter which represent the change in velocity with respect to time, that parameter is known as acceleration. So we define it as the change in velocity. The change in velocity per unit time is known as acceleration. Change in velocity per unit time is known as acceleration. Okay, so how will you define it mathematically? Basically it is the mathematical definition, but how will you represent it mathematically? So suppose a particle is initially here at point A. Now we have studied that we represent the velocity with symbol v. But now whenever any object starts, or whenever we start to see the motion of the object, then at t is equal to 0, the velocity is represented by symbol u. U means initial velocity. The initial velocity of any object is represented by the symbol u. U means initial velocity. That means the velocity at t is equal to 0, or the velocity at the instant when we start seeing the motion. So u is equal to 0 means u means initial velocity. So suppose initially the particle was moving with velocity u. Okay, and suppose after time t it reaches to point B. This is time t is equal to t, and here at this point B, the velocity is v. V means final velocity. Final velocity means if we are seeing the motion from t is equal to 0 to t is equal to t. So t is equal to 0 is our initial instant and t is equal to t is our final instant. So the velocity at t is equal to 0 is u, and the velocity at t is equal to t is v. Okay. So u is initial velocity and v is final velocity. And what is the definition of acceleration? The change in velocity per unit time. It is known as acceleration. So how will you represent it mathematically? We will represent it acceleration is equal to change in velocity. Change in velocity per unit time, that means upon time. Whenever the word per unit comes, it means it is in denominator. So per unit time means it is upon time. And what is the meaning of change? Change means final minus initial upon time. Okay, whenever we have to talk about change, the word change indicates the change in your value with respect to an initial value. That means final minus initial. And what is the final velocity here? It is v. What is initial velocity? It is u. And upon time, so the time taken is t minus 0, that will be t. So the formula for acceleration will be v minus u upon t. It is our acceleration. It is the mathematical formula for acceleration. And I already told you the change is also represented by symbol delta. Change means symbol delta and velocity means v. So we can also represent it as delta v upon delta t. Delta v upon delta t. Change in velocity upon change in time. So the formula can also be written as a is equal to delta v upon delta t, or simply delta v upon t can also be written. So it is the meaning of acceleration. Okay, this is our acceleration. Now what will be the SI unit? Whenever we talk about any physical quantity, then there should also be a unit. SI unit should be written with that physical quantity always. Otherwise, your marks will be deducted. So the formula is SI unit. So the formula is A is equal to delta V upon delta T. Whenever we have to find the SI unit of any physical quantity, you should know the relation between them. And if you know the relation, you can find the unit yourself. Now in this, you know the relation of acceleration. It is delta V upon delta T. Now you know the SI unit of velocity. The SI unit of velocity is meter per second. And what is the unit of time? It is also second. So it can be written as meter per second square. It is the SI unit of acceleration. Meter per second square. Okay. Now acceleration, if we talk about the scalar or vector quantity, then acceleration is a vector quantity. It has a particular direction. Okay, because it depends on velocity, and velocity is also a vector quantity, so acceleration will be a vector quantity. How will you find the direction of acceleration? So you know about the formula. A is equal to V minus U upon T. Now, A if v is greater than u, it means if final velocity is greater than initial velocity, it means if your velocity is increasing, and you know that the increasing velocity is taken with positive sign. So if v is greater than u, then this whole term will be greater than this whole term will be positive. V minus u will be positive. That means acceleration is positive. Okay, it means if velocity is increasing, then acceleration is taken as positive, and when acceleration is positive, it implies that acceleration is in the direction, it is in the direction of velocity. Whenever velocity increases, it means v is greater than u, then acceleration will be positive from this formula, and when acceleration is positive, it implies that acceleration is in the direction of velocity. For example, if you move your accelerator, you start your bike and you take your accelerator, move your accelerator, then as the time increases, your velocity also increases. So we say that we are accelerating our bike, our speed is increasing, and suddenly when you apply your brake, then with the application of brake, suppose you are moving with a velocity of 80 km per hour and you apply the brakes, then with the application of brake, your bike slows down and the velocity comes out to be 20 km per hour. It means your velocity is decreasing. Okay, then the acceleration will be, you will not say that we are accelerating, you will say that we are deaccelerating. Let us take an example. If v is less than u, if v is less than u, then a will be negative. A will be negative. It implies that acceleration is opposite to the direction of motion. Acceleration is opposite to the direction of motion. If final velocity is less than initial velocity, means if you are moving with velocity of 80, you apply the brake, then velocity decreases. It means your acceleration is opposite to the direction of motion. Okay, and this acceleration, negative acceleration is also known as, it is also known as retardation, or another name is deacceleration. It is also known as retardation or deacceleration. Okay, so this is the meaning of acceleration. SI unit, it is a vector quantity. It depends on the value of v. If v is greater than u, then acceleration will be positive. It means acceleration is in the direction of velocity. If a is negative, it means acceleration is opposite to the direction of motion or opposite to the direction of velocity. This negative acceleration is also known as retardation or deacceleration. Okay, so this is all about the acceleration. Now we will discuss about the types of acceleration. Now if we talk about the types of acceleration, so like speed and velocity, there were 4 types of speed: uniform, non-uniform, average and instantaneous. 4 types of velocities were there. So there will be 4 types of acceleration also: uniform acceleration, non-uniform acceleration, average acceleration and instantaneous acceleration. What is the meaning of uniform? We have already discussed in detail in uniform speed and uniform velocity. So I am just telling you the concept, the formula. What is uniform acceleration? When a is equal to constant. When acceleration is constant, then it is known as uniform acceleration. Or we can say when change in velocity with respect to time, when change in velocity per unit time is constant, then it is known as uniform acceleration. What is non-uniform acceleration? When acceleration will not be constant. What is the meaning of not constant? Acceleration is not constant. It means when change in velocity per unit time is not constant. When delta V changes with time, that means change in velocity is not constant with the time. Change in velocity also changes with time. Okay, so it is non-uniform acceleration. What is average acceleration? A average. So what was the formula of average velocity? Total displacement upon total time. So it can also be written as average acceleration is equal to total change in velocity, total change, it can be written as A average. Average acceleration, it is given by the change in velocity, change in velocity upon total time. And next is instantaneous acceleration. So it is written as instantaneous acceleration. It will be given by limit delta t tending to 0. We have discussed it in the starting of the lecture. Instantaneous velocity, that was limit delta t tending to 0, delta x upon delta t. Now the formula of acceleration is delta v upon delta t. As you know, a is equal to delta v upon delta t. So what will be instantaneous acceleration? It will be limit delta t tending to 0, and it will be written as delta v upon delta t. It will be the formula for instantaneous acceleration. Okay, it can also be written as dv upon dt. A is equal to dv upon dt. We have already discussed it in very detail. What is the meaning of limit delta and what is dv upon dt? It is known as differentiation. Okay, so these are the different types of acceleration. Okay, so now till now we have discussed all the types of speed, all the types of velocities, all the types of acceleration. So from the next video we will discuss about the types of motion. We will start with the different types of motion and we will study the graph of various types of motion. So you have to study this type, all the types of acceleration clearly.